The Christmas rally has begun. The Christmas rally officially is the last 5 trading days of the year and the first 2 trading days of the new year. I was busy buying stocks on Friday and Monday, and on Christmas Eve, Tuesday, stocks took off wildly, led by technology. Is Broadcom the next NVIDIA? Some are saying so. In fact, now they're talking about the Magnificent Eight, and it's symbolized by Batman, with there being 3 A's instead of 2. So it's great because these companies have bought all the chips they can from NVIDIA, and now they're turning to Broadcom to make customized chips for their particular company. So Broadcom, the company that connects everything with everything, is now making customized artificial intelligence chips. Broadcom is really taking over to some extent, not taking over, but is going to take a substantial part, I think, from NVIDIA, and there's enough room for both of them. I mean, Broadcom is providing customized solutions, I think. It's a somewhat different thing from what NVIDIA is doing, so there's plenty of room for both of them. And it's gone up 45% in the last month. It's gone up 114% year to date. I expect this stock to hit 300 by the end of next year. Probably, if not further than that. The Magnificent Seven, all of those companies are wonderful. They take turns leading and they go back and forth. And so I've just resolved to buy the MEGS ETF, which buys nothing but the Magnificent Seven. And on top of that, I'll buy Broadcom as an individual stock. And looking at the chart, you can see MEGS, which invests in only the Magnificent Seven, has gone up to $58. In the last month, it's made almost 14%, and it's gone up from about $51 to $58. Its relative strength is over 68, which is good. Most importantly, the dip that it experienced last Wednesday, it completely recovered by Christmas Eve. Reddit, symbol RDDT, is an interesting social platform that has completely recovered from last Wednesday's downturn. As we look at the chart, you can see that it's gone up from 160 last Wednesday to 177, and it's made over 20% in the last month. It's made 262% since the beginning of the year. Its relative strength is 65, which is good. Robinhood, symbol HOOD, is an innovative stock and crypto trading platform. Looking at the chart, you can see it's been up and down and all around. I think it's consolidating. It's still made 8% for the month, and year to date, it's made 210%. Its relative strength of 56 is decent and certainly indicates that it's not overbought. Data analytics stock Palantir, symbol PLTR, just keeps going up no matter what. Looking at the chart, you can see Palantir has gone up from $65 to $82, making 28% in the last month. It's made 245% since the beginning of the year, and it still has a relative strength of 72, indicating that there's still demand for the stock. Credo Technology Group, symbol CRDO, operates as a holding company. Credo, through its subsidiaries, provides connectivity solutions. So it's involving electrical cables, chiplets, line cards, optical DSPs, whatever that is. So they're into connectivity solutions, and they're a holding company of various subsidiaries that do this. Credo went up massively in early December and then has just been consolidating ever since. For the 1 month, it's up 55% because of that massive early gain. And it recovered nicely from Wednesday's downturn. So I have good things planned or think are planned for this stock. Its relative strength is 62, which is decent. Credo's year-to-date gain is 265%. Twilio, symbol TWLO, is software that facilitates communication with customers. Looking at the chart, Twilio has recovered from Wednesday's dip and is sort of leveling off. It's made almost 7% in the last month. It's made 46% year to date. It has a relative strength of 62, which is decent. I'm looking for big things from this stock in the future. I think it's consolidating, and it's been rocked by the market's movements lately. I invest in Bitcoin through the Fidelity ETF, whose symbol is FBTC, and Bitcoin has been all over the place. It rocketed to like 107,000, and then it came down to 92,000. At the time of this recording, it's hanging right at 98,000, so it's recovered somewhat. For the month, FBTC is actually down 1/3%. Year to date, it's up 105%. So we shall see what happens. I think the closer we get to Trump's election, the more it will go up, simply because he's the most crypto president we've ever had. Block's symbol is SQ because it used to be called Square, and it's a financial stock. It's a fintech stock that does all kinds of financial things, such as facilitating payments. But it's also considered a blockchain stock in many ways because of its involvement with crypto. Block has been rising since October, and it's made, as you can see from the chart, it's made about 17% so far year to date. It's actually lost a little over 1% in the last month. So it's consolidating. To me, it looks like it's attempting to break out, but I think a lot of it's dependent upon the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks out, it probably will break out also. Its relative strength is 52, which is okay, but not great. And then we have my two flyers, and these are stocks that have gone up an extreme amount, but I invest a limited amount in them and then have a fairly close trailing stop loss on each of them. Most of my stocks, I have a trailing stop loss. I find it's very important not to lose money in the stock market. But Applovin, symbol APP, does mobile gaming and mobile advertising, whereas Arista Network, symbol ANET, engages in the development, marketing, and sale of cloud networking solutions. Cloud networking solution is ANET's thing. Looking at the chart, Applovin, symbol APP, has gone up 757%. I think it's one of the most highly advanced tech stocks this year. So I think that's where I was getting swept away. Actually, ANET hasn't gone up too outrageous. It tells you what kind of year we're having when a stock that's made 94% year to date seems almost reasonable. But in comparison to the 757, I guess that's the case. And it's surprising that Applovin's relative strength is only 56. So I think I'm tempted almost to buy more of Arista Networks, ANET. Applovin, I'll keep some of it, but it's gone up a lot. Soundhound, symbol SOUN, does sound systems for artificial intelligence. And the question is, will it keep breaking out? And looking at the chart, you can see Soundhound keeps breaking out. In the last month, it's made 145%. It's now around 20. Sometimes it goes up to 22 or 23, but it's kind of hovering around there. And I started buying it at about $8. Since the beginning of the year, it's made about 854%. There was a time you could buy it between $2 and $3. So this is a stock that you hope keeps breaking out, and I keep a fairly tight stop loss on it, and I end up buying back into it all the time just because it does keep breaking out. Then we have my two penny stocks, Ceragon Networks, symbol CRNT, provides communication equipment for wireless service providers around the world. They're headquartered in Israel. They provide all over the world. Their latest projects seem to be mostly in India. So it's speculative, but it seems to be making moves upwards lately. Looking at the chart, you can see Ceragon Networks is trying to break out, and in a sense, it already has. I mean, it's gone up 27% in the past month, and year to date, it's gone up 118%. So again, it's a penny stock, and you got to be careful with these. But I'm putting a certain amount of money on it and letting it ride and seeing what happens. So we shall see. The relative strength is 63, which is okay. Navitas Semiconductors, symbol NVTS, makes semiconductors that are used in power conversion and charging. Looking at the chart on Navitas, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is it's made 64% in the last month. Isn't that great? The problem is year to date it's lost 50%. So we're definitely trying to pick one off the bottom, and I seldom do this. I guess I'm making an exception because it's a semiconductor company, and semiconductors have been hot in recent years. So I'm speculating on this one. I'm putting a very limited amount of money on it, and it's going to have to show me a lot more before I put more money on it. Thanks for listening.